When you've got a big goal ahead of you, when the stakes are high, the odds are stacked against you, and the world almost seems unfair, what do? How do you react? In this episode, I talk about the idea of resourcefulness. Intro. What's up, everybody? I'm TK. You are watching another Unstoppable Sunday. Unstoppable Sunday is a movement where we help people live a more proactive life. The way we do this is every Sunday we sit down and we ask ourselves these two questions. Number one, where am I? And number two, what do I do next? All of this is designed to help us pause and reflect and figure out how we're going to become unstoppable in our lives. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about the idea of resourcefulness. Now, that's probably a familiar word to you. The reason resourcefulness is so top of mind for me is we just finished up the year for my team. We just looked at what we accomplished and it was fantastic. And the one word that sticks out for me on why they were successful this past year, is the idea of resourcefulness. So just for entertainment's sake, I kind of wrote down the definition of resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. Let me explain. This past year, one of my teams was tasked with a nearly impossible task. On one hand, the task was incredibly strategic, super important, and had to be done. On the other hand, the world is unfair and everything was stacked against us, and it was a brand new team, and there were a million things that were standing in the way between us and actually accomplishing that goal. So often when we're given goals in our lives, when we're staring down the barrel and saying, this is what I want to accomplish, it is so easy to get bogged down on all the millions of things that are in the way, the obstacles that are in the way between where we stand and where we want to be to go accomplish our goals. That happens so often. A million things, a million excuses come our way, whether it's from ourselves, in our own mind, or from our team. It's so hard. This will never work. These 5 things are stacked against us and it's in the way and the system is rigged. Let me put it this way though, never in the history of mankind was there ever an endeavor worth accomplishing and it was easy. Was there ever an endeavor where it was overly funded? Was there ever an endeavor worth accomplishing that didn't have any obstacles? In fact, by definition, major big things that change the world, that accomplish big things, major big things that are successes, have obstacles along the way. If you look at any of the most successful people in history, if you look at some of the biggest accomplishments that push mankind forward, if you look at the most successful people in history, they've all accomplished this one thing, and it's resourcefulness. So going back to my story, my team has this big goal. There are a billion things in the way of accomplishing this goal, so we got into a room. We got in front of a whiteboard and we made a list of things, all the things that were stacked against us in the way of our goal. We then looked at it straight in the face. We looked at reality straight in the face and we said, all right, got it. Everyone go and vent, get it all out. These are all the problems. Problems all have solutions. Let's just pause here and now talk about, given all of this, how do we accomplish this anyway? What are the things that we have in our team or in our environment that we can use to our advantage? What are the small things that are working that we can go double down to put to our advantage? What are the creative things that we can do to stack the odds towards us instead of against us? Fast forward a year, my team crushed their goal. Not only did they hit their goal, they exceeded it. And they delivered one of the largest results that specific organization ever delivered in the history of the company. In short, my team figured out resourcefulness. They sat down, they got into a room, and they said, even though we have these things that are in the way, that they're obstacles, what are the things that we can do to win anyway? And they gave themselves 30 seconds to mope, to moan, to groan, to complain about all the things that are unfair, and then they moved forward and they said, all right, how do we go punch this in the face? The next time you're taking on a goal, or say right now you're figuring out what you want to accomplish this year, or you're in a project and you're not quite sure how you're going to go accomplish the targets that you've set for yourself, ask yourself, ask your team, are we being resourceful? Are we figuring out the clever ways that we can get short wins? Are we figuring out the ways that we can take advantage of the little things that are working? Or are we just obsessing about the things that aren't? Tony Robbins had a really great quotation that I absolutely love. It's not the lack of resources, it's your lack of resourcefulness that stops you. So needless to say, here at Unstoppable, we don't believe in being stopped. So figure out resourcefulness for your team and figure out what are the problems have solutions, and how do you get around them anyway. So the question I have for you is, how do you handle yourself when the thing you're going after has obstacles in the way? How are you practicing resourcefulness in your life? Comment below, I'd love to hear from you. And if you happen to enjoy this video, please make sure you pause and hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, we do videos about living a more proactive life, being more successful in business every Sunday. So hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified as we do these videos every single Sunday. And most importantly, just remember, everyone needs a strategy for your life. Yours needs to be unstoppable. If you're interested in an unstoppable life strategy, follow the link below. We have a link to our Unstoppable Life Planning Guide, completely free. It's a 30-page guide that walks you through step-by-step on how to get more proactive in your life, including this thing that we do every Sunday called Unstoppable Sunday. I'm TK, thanks for watching. See you next week.